Hi, and thanks for dropping by. Christmas isn't that far away, and this year, because I am a little bit Celtic, in fact, I'm a lot Celtic because I'm a Kirkpatrick from Ireland, I have decided that for my Scottish friends and my other Celt friends from around the world, I am going to show you how to create a Celt or a Scottish inspired door wreath. I've got some lovely ivy here. Everything I'm doing is artificial, but if you've got access to fresh, then by all means this will work equally as well. I'm using artificial because I know it's going to last ages, and well, you know, I've got other things that I can do to turn it into something equally as amazing as a door wreath, which I'll share with you in due course. So I've got the ivy, I've got these beautiful thistles here, I've got some green and some purple, I've got some lamb's ear, which is, oh look at that, I just love it, and I love how all these colours are all connected and they're all of that sort of like dullish sort of grey tones, which is really going to be quite special. I've got some lovely berries over here, and I've also got some succulents, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the candle and this lovely basket in due course. Now, I have shown you how to make these wreaths out of willow. This I made a couple of years ago, and it has just been invaluable because I've used it time and time again, so it was well worth that little trek into the bushlands and the farmlands to get it and to let it dry off. Now, it's not as fat as I would want it, but that's okay because it's going to give me that lovely ring in which to work. Now, with the ivy, what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to, normally you would hot glue things on, or you would put moss into there and insert the living plants into it, but because I'm using ivy, the artificials, I'm just going to tie everything on because that way I know that I can reuse the wreath again. So I'm just going to get some little bits of string, or you could use some jute, and then just quickly tie those on. You don't have to be too fussy at this stage, and as you know, the ivy has a life of its own, so don't be too sort of like perfect and try and play God with it and make it stay in the one position, because it's just going to wander everywhere anyway. Right, so from there I'm going to put another one on here, and because I've used that little bit of rope, I can just find those ends and rope that back onto there like so. We don't need to knot it any further at this stage, and then I'll knot that into place, and I can see that I'm going to have a little bit of issue here, so I'll just put another bit of string there to keep that in place. Look at that, it's also, now what's happening is because of that ivy, it's actually being extended and looks much bigger, so this little skinny frame here doesn't really matter at this stage. Right, with the thistles, all I'm going to do with those is place those. I've only got 4, so I'm going to place those in 4 equal parts around the exterior of my wreath. So I'm going this way, and because I'm going up this way, I'll just take those in another direction, and I'll put that into there. Now, I'm not going to bother tying it at this stage because I can put several components in before I tie it even further. Right, on top of that, I'm going to put in the purple. I love these colours. They so remind me of my marvellous holiday I had in Scotland a couple of years ago. In fact, I'm almost tempted to want to go back and live there. It was such a beautiful place. But then anywhere when you're on holiday is a nice place, isn't it? Okay, so these here, I'm just going to tie those on using that same bit of string and tie these on quite tightly. And the other thing I wanted to, the reason I'm tying these on is because next time I see you, I'm going to show you how to turn these forms into a table arrangement, something long and elongated. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that there. Looks a bit fiddly, but I love doing things like this with my friends and getting them round, and we have wreath making days. Okay, and I need to bring another one into there because I need to make sure that that is well hooked into there. Right, tying that down like that, and I'll put another knot in that. And then if these here need to be moved out, give them a little move at this stage. And if you're not sure whether everything is fixed perfectly, just turn it upside down and give it a good shake to just make sure. And I can see that that bit up there could cause an issue because a little bit of wind does hit my front door, so I don't want these blowing all over the neighbourhood. Right, so we'll tie that, that's better. And go, and I'll double knot that like so. Right, now I've got some of this lamb's ear, and I just love the colour way of the lamb's ear in with the lovely lavenders here, so that's another lovely little colourway through. and I'll put one into there and another one into there, and then I've got one left, so I'll bring that down into there. And I just love the story of a wreath is for eternal life, and I just think that as each season comes and goes, it's quite nice to reflect that. Now, with the berries, I've got only 3 berries, so to place those, what I'll do is I'll put them at like a triangle with equal placement between each one, down into there, one there, and then I'll bring that down into there. And when you're sticking your little stems in, just push them down and in through into the body of your work. Now I've got 2 of these, and I'm just going to cut a little bit of that off. I'm loving how this is looking. So, and when I look at these berries, they've got a little bit of yellow onto them, and this here has got a little bit of yellow onto it too, so that's quite a nice colourway to bring that through. So I've only got 2 of those, so I'll put one there, and then I'll bring that up and into there like so. Now, this is when you need to go through and tie those bits off again, just to make sure that everything's firmly fixed and in position. Now that's a bit tight, but I'm not going to worry about that because I've still got the succulents, and I'll bring that bit there through and bind those off like so. This is such a good idea because I can reuse these. And I've had lots of requests asking where I get my artificial materials from. For those of you in America, why don't you try Wynwood Flowers? And I know that they do export and send worldwide, so hopefully they can help you. But it is really difficult for me to find them and to find a good supply for you all. Okay, right, now I have got some succulents, and what I'm going to do with those is just a little bit of hot glue onto there, and be careful with this if you've never used one because it will burn. And I'm just going to tie that down onto, push that down onto that rope there. And if you notice that you've got any long little cobwebby bits, that's usually because the glue gun isn't quite hot enough. Right, I've got 2 of these beautiful big things, and I'm just going to push that down and into there like that. You don't, and so putting the leaves over the berries over the top of it, don't worry about doing things like that because that's just another interplay of line and form and giving some interesting texture and a bit more movement. So I've got one there, I'll put that one into there like that, and then I've got these 2 here. So I think I might just put one down the bottom, one into there, and then because I've only got this one here, I think I'm just going to bring that into there so that there's equal distance, well not equal distance, but the colour placement is equal. So that can go down into there like so, and there we have, that glue just needs to just be there for a minute, but there we have a beautiful wreath, just a few forms. I just love the lovely interplay of light. And if you wanted to, you could put a little bit of tartan ribbon. Perhaps you've got your own tartan with your own clan, you could put that in. So that's one way of doing it, or you could put some jute into it. Now, if you wanted to turn this into something for, say, a wedding decoration, how about this? Just get, I can't remember what these are called, but it was something that my old nan gave me, and I think it's for potatoes. That's the Celt bit of me. Okay, so what you could do with this is just put a plate into there, put that onto the basket like so, and then you could put your candle onto the top of that. I'd have that candle a little bit higher, but there's a really lovely design for a wedding. Just love it. And right about now, that's a tick for one thing done for Christmas. I hope you've enjoyed that. Let me know how you get on if you're going to have a crack at making it, and do send me some photographs because I'm really interested in what you come up with. Thanks for watching, and I will see you another day.